Hey everybody, this is JDGaming. Is this a blast of nostalgia or just deja vu? Well, a little bit of both. About 3 weeks ago, I uploaded my Legendary Collection showcase video, where basically I showed off this binder that's kind of like a time capsule of the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh! The stuff that I grew up with and that I know a lot of you guys grew up with as well. And the thing is, it ended up turning into this hour, 17-minute long video because of how thorough I wanted it to be, just to do the collection justice. And, you know, that's nice artistically, but realistically, not everyone's going to watch that. A handful of you did, and almost all of you that watched it seemed to have enjoyed it. So what I decided to do is, as kind of an extra video this month, I'm going to put this abridged version of this binder. So I'm basically just going to flip through it, make minimal commentary on why things are there, so that way you can, one, get your own sense of nostalgia from the cards that I've put into this binder, and two, you'll kind of have a possible outlet to, I guess, or not more of an outlet, more of an inlet, I guess. I don't know if that's a term here, but to lead into this binder. So if you want to watch the full thing with full commentary, it's basically a movie, you know, grab some popcorn and click the link in the description box down below and you will get the original video that I have. Otherwise, just look through this binder and just remember your childhood, I guess. Note, though, none of this stuff is for trade or sale, so, you know, please don't make offers regarding stuff that you want out of this binder. None of it is for trade or sale. Just like to show off and share this binder for you guys so that hopefully you guys enjoy what I've put together. And yeah, we'll get started. So the first cover is obviously the God cards. This binder essentially started when I got the Legendary Collection binder, and I noticed how woefully underwhelming it was once I removed the product from the inside. So I decided to flesh it out with a bunch of stuff from the original series. So first we have Secret Rare God cards from the Jump, the Anno manga, so the movie in manga form, and the Xbox video game, all from like 2004. We have some of the original gods on the right in Ultra, the Jump gods, the legal ones, and then fake gods, more story on that in the original video. It's pretty interesting. On the right here we have a DT Preview, Blue Eyes White Dragon, the Kazuki Takahashi alternate art anniversary Dark Magician, which not many people even know exists, and then Red Eyes Black Dragon from Joey's World. On the left you'll see a bunch of cards from basically showing Yugi and his friends, which is kind of rare, and then the Dragons of Legend stuff that I hopefully will update when they release more dragons and subsequent sets as sequels to Dragons of Legend in the future. On the right then we have a bunch of Yugi stuff, as you can see here. So basically enjoy seeing all of Yugi's classic cards here. Got a good mix of spells, traps, and monsters. Not everything, of course, but, you know, a good representation, I feel. On the right here, we have Duelist Kingdom stuff from Yugi, including the moon that was destroyed, but, yeah. Then we have on the left some stuff from Battle City, as well as from the Noah's Ark filler. The one thing I'd like to point out here is this is little Yugi stuff. He played Gold Sarcophagus in the anime, and spoiler alert for a 10-year-old thing, but basically in the show, it negated a card that your opponent played that you also owned in your deck and that you sealed away in the sarcophagus. That card was, of course, Monster Reborn, which prevented the Pharaoh from bringing out Slifer the Sky Dragon, allowing little Yugi to put his best friend and partner back into submission in Egypt. Kind of a sad, but I guess triumphant ending there. On the right, we have Kaiba stuff. The original XYZs, not quite XCs, but you get the picture. And then on the right, some of his pure destruction in the form of Viruses, Ring of Destruction, Envoy of the End, and Cyberjar. On the left, tons of monsters from Duelist Kingdom. And on the right, some of the newer stuff that he plays in the Noah's Ark. And I'll show this Pot of Greed just because I think a lot of people like to see Pot of Greed. So this is the first edition Ultimate Rare version that they made in Duelist Pack Kaiba. It's a little hard to get without glare, but there it is. The texture on it's pretty interesting because it actually looks like the pot's a little more 3D than normal. And of course the flavor text or effect that's really short, just draw 2 cards. Got it banned because this game has so little restrictions on what you can do with those 2 cards. But that's what makes this game fun. Some more of Kaiba's iconic spells and traps on the left, including Enemy Controller. And then on the right, Joey's cards. I really like how, if you look here, I'll explain this in the full video as well, but basically these are the first few cards Joey got in trades on the way to Duelist Kingdom in the order he presents them, and then the Time Wizard he gets along with everything. On the left, we have some of his Battle City monsters down here, his Duelist Kingdom monsters up there. And then on the right, I really love this page. So basically, we have Jinzo was 1 in his duel against Esperoba. So we have Skull Dice and Graceful Dice, which were important in that match. Against Weevil Underwood, Joey won the Insect Queen by using Gearfried the Iron Knight and Grave Robber. And then similarly against Mako Tsunami, Joey won the Legendary Fisherman from him by using Alligator Sword and Giant Trunade to drain the sea. So, fun little organized setup there, I guess. On the left, Question's a fun little card. I discussed that more in detail in the full video. And if you know about it, then yeah, you probably realize that that's one of the cards why, one of the reasons, if not the only reason, we're not allowed to shuffle graveyards in our games, especially at tournaments. On the right, we have Pegasus stuff. So you may have seen I've basically gone through the main 4 starter decks. We had Yugi, Kaiba, Joey, and Pegasus. And like for me, thinking back to those original starter decks just gives so much nostalgia. On the right here now, we're done with those 4 characters, so we go into basically episodes. So I will point out the episodes or the opponents that were faced in those episodes and so on. So first we have episode 2 here. We have Weevil Underwood versus Rex Raptor, which was on the television in the show. And then the stuff that Yugi and Pegasus used as they faced each other through said television. On the left, Lava and Swamp Battle Guard are the original tag team of dueling. And then we also have the character's favorite cards. We don't have Cyber Commander here because that thing was only made in OCG, so I don't have it. But we do have some of Bakura's other cards here, which I thought was a really cool arrangement. On the right, we have Panic. And even from the Abridged series, this thing is famous for Catapult Turtle destroying the flotation ring of the Castle of Dark Illusions. Crazy, crazy shenanigans there, but it was really funny. And then we have some zombie cards when Joey was forced to duel Bones. On the left, we have, of course, the Paradox Brothers. So we have the Gate Guardian pieces and the Maze components. And then on the right, we're finally done with the preliminaries. We're over to the Duelist Kingdom finals. So we have My Valentine was first versus Yugioh, and she actually played 2 of these Harpy's Feather Dusters with that artwork, which is pretty ridiculous. Like, I know that ban lists didn't exist back then, but limitations certainly did. So it was interesting. On the left, we have Bandit Keith, who faced Joey. And then basically after that, it's Joey versus Yugi, and then Yugi versus Pegasus. People we already had in the earlier part of the binders, so we go on past the Duelist Kingdom finals over to some fillers, which to me are some of the most iconic ones because this is basically the stuff that they showed when I came home from school during the weekdays. So you'll see here, this is like Rebecca Hawkins and all her cards that she got from her grandfather. Here we have the original virtual world represented by Nuatori, the card they needed to get past the desert to the castle, where Witty Phantom was holding Kaiba hostage. And then, of course, Dragon Master Knight, the huge light dragon that was able to destroy a 5-headed dragon. This was the Pharaoh's Servant kind of booster draft that Duke Devlin and Joey Wheeler did before Dungeon Dice Monsters. There weren't enough Dungeon Dice Monsters, I felt, like Strike Ninja to actually put in this binder, so I just settled for this. Unfortunately, it is what it is. And then we have Johnny Steps versus the Pharaoh right before the Pharaoh learned about his memories, which takes us over to Battle City. On the right, then, we have the cards that Bandit Keith used while he was forced by Merrick to duel Little Yugi. Solemn Judgment made an appearance there, which is pretty cool for people who played competitively. And then we had Time Seal is basically used in the first game to save Yugi from Exodia, which Seeker used in the first game of the tournament. So we have the original Exodia and all that stuff there from that battle. On the right, we have Weevil Underwood and all his cards, including the Parasite that was snuck into Joey's deck. Here I really like how I had the Arcana Dark Magician, and then I decided, well, I already have these other cards from the OCG, so let's just use those. So it came out to be a nice little arrangement there. And then we have some of the cards that Strings used against Yugi when Slifer was first summoned. You may see like the infinite draw combo there. Then we have some of the masked monsters, some of my favorite cards, or cards as well, spells and traps from Loomis and Umbra. And then we have, of course, some destruction that was added to Joey's deck to help him beat Yugi. Then on the right we have some of Bakura's stuff as he made it into the finals, and I guess he played in the finals too. So we have the 3 monsters he used to bring out Dark Necrofear. We of course have the Destiny board. These 2 cards here represent Odeon, his trap deck, and his fake Raw. This is technically a real one. It's in Korean, but it's damaged, so I thought let's just use this extra Raw as a representation of that. And then on the right we have the Amazoness monsters and Harpy monsters that Mai used in the Battle City Finals. We have an updated artwork of Harpy's Feather Duster, as well as the Seal of Orichalcos, kind of foreshadowing the Waking the Dragons arc. On the left, we have Ishizu Ishtar's stuff, so this is, her stuff, since she was a finalist as well. Then we had a filler arc, of course, Noah's Ark. So we have all of the big 5s monsters here, 5-headed dragon and Noah's monsters. I really like how this page turned out as well. And then we start going into Merrick's stuff here, just some of his diabolical monsters, on both the left and right, as well as his spells and traps. And then we have, of course, the 3 Sphinxes from the first movie in 2004. All the promo cards that came from that really cool era. And then on the right, now we start basically to wrap up this binder. We just have the booster cover cards as well as the original secret rares for just the first season's boosters. So we have, of course, Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon, Metal Raiders, Spell Ruler, or if you're classic like me, Magic Ruler, back before they changed that term, Pharaoh's Servant, the Labyrinth of Nightmare, Legacy of Darkness. We have on the right Pharaonic Guardian, Magician's Force, and Dark Crisis. And finally, we have Invasion of Chaos, Ancient Sanctuary, and then the last 3 before GX were Soul of the Duelist, Rise of Destiny, and Flaming Eternity. So I hope you guys enjoyed this special showcase video. It was a blast putting it all together, coming up with stuff to say, and basically, reworking the binder itself, going back, reworking what I had to say and all this stuff, because it was just really fun to think about all these old cards, the old seasons, and basically, my childhood. So I hope you guys had a similar feeling and really enjoyed this experience. If you did, consider going down to the description box. I do have the full video where I give more in-depth commentary about all the different episodes, what I personally remembered, some background information, trivia, all this stuff. If you have the time, you just sit down one weekend when it's raining, or in this case, snowing, and then go, grab some hot chocolate and sit there for a movie's period of time, and hopefully you enjoy it even more than this little sample I have here. Yep, 13 minutes, and it's basically a sample video. What can I say? There's a lot in the history of this game. That's why a lot of us can say that it was our childhood. So hope you guys really enjoyed this, and look forward to some other special videos, including deck profiles and maybe some other stuff that I'm tinkering with right now through the month of this contest. So thanks, guys. This is JDGaming, and I'll see you guys next time.